TikTok. Everybody knows what TikTok is. I'm going to say this straight, and everybody please make up your own mind as soon as I say this. America is thinking about banning TikTok. The President of the United States is thinking about banning TikTok. Now, first of all, it's bad. America's not. The American Intelligence Agency is far more high tech than Ireland, and it always will be more high tech than Ireland. And this in India banned it too. So they are very high tech countries. They know what they're doing. Their governments have a lot more information than the Irish government does. The Irish government wouldn't know if there was 500 Chinese spies in Ireland. They wouldn't have a clue. Um, they have a bit of a have more sets in them. If the Americans, the American special agencies over there take there's a risk with TikTok, and the TikTok takes more information than any other company. Your own personal information. I'm saying to people not to use it in Ireland. It's a national security risk to our people and to the country, to our national security in Ireland. Whatever security we have, Patsy and Joe, who works in the Irish Intelligence Agency, who's always in the pub, who doesn't get a living wage because they're in the Defence Forces of Ireland, and the Irish government give money to Europe for the European Army and fund the European Army and this, that and the other. And they're too busy worrying about that than paying their soldiers. That's about it. That's about Ireland's intelligence agency. There's two men in the pub 24 hours a day listening into conversations. That's basically the Irish intelligence agency. We have very, very small. We do, in all fairness, we do have a small one, which couldn't tell a rock from a hard place, and it's simple as that. Because they just don't have the resources, don't have the funding. They just couldn't tell you. They couldn't tell you. And I'm saying to the government, in this country, they're too busy rolling over and licking up to China because they're afraid of losing trade. They're afraid of losing business. But I'm saying this straight to people. China abuses everything. They're abusing Hong Kong. They're abusing other countries. They're threatening other countries. You have concentration camps, which they're making minorities over in China go into. And the world just sits back and says nothing about it. It's the same with the Irish government. They just couldn't care less. They couldn't care less about this. Just couldn't care. Just couldn't care that the human rights are being violated in China. Couldn't care less and won't stand up to them. And have no backbone to stand up to them. And I'm saying to the government in Ireland, if you have any notion of I don't even think Simon Coveney knows what national security is. Or you're trying to keep your citizens safe from the data being taken by Chinese spies and the Chinese Communist government. But no, Simon Coveney won't. He want to lick up to China because he's Minister for Foreign Affairs. My God, man, if I was Minister for Defence, I'd give them hell. But yeah, I'm just saying this. America's taking a hand in this. They have a lot more information than the Irish government will ever have, because in this country they're just too busy looking the other way about China, and that's every country nearly does. They look the other way and pretend that China is a great, great country, great, great people, now a great communist regime. And they don't look and see of all the violations they're doing. Hong Kong is a great example of what China's doing. And again, the Irish government said nothing. They said nothing. They just said, that's about it. That's about it. They didn't care less, really, in this country. And, it just goes to show you that Ireland is just a pushover country for China. But I'm saying to the Irish government, and if you take anything that I ever said over my career, to ban TikTok, I'm saying that I know a lot of people will be upset, and a lot of people do, especially a lot of young people. But I'm telling you straight, and I was one of the first people to say it in this country, that it was a national security threat. I said to the three senators, one of them told me to shut my mouth. The reason why he told me to shut my mouth because I was getting on to something and I knew something was up, and I had an idea about China, and he told me to shut my mouth. And I spoke louder, because someone tells me to shut up, I speak louder. And I'm more aggressive next time I speak, and I'm more, you're going to get my point across no matter if he didn't like it. And he had to finally submit that I was really right, and he said I was really right, that it is a very suspicious kind of app. But he didn't admit that he was wrong, in other words. But yeah, this goes to show you, they're not really too interested in taking on and banning the Chinese app, and they're not really too interested in bringing up the Chinese ambassador and asking them a few questions. In this country, it's freeway, and they just couldn't care less. But I'm saying to people, if you have TikTok installed, please delete it. Erase it from your tablet or your app or whatever. I never used TikTok. I was wider because from the start I said Chinese app, and I have this saying: I never support a communist regime. I never buy anything Chinese. Simple as. I never support the Chinese sweatshops, and I never will. And I'm an Irish person who has said, and I'm the only person in the whole, probably in the whole wider county council wing and everything like that, or any authority in Ireland who say it straight. And I'm saying to people not to buy Chinese goods. Not to buy it. Why should Ireland support child labour and support abuses of human rights? And if we have any dignity, and same with this app, they're abusing people, they're taking people's data without them knowing, and they're using that against them, and they're invading our national security. And until we stand up and say enough, and take back, what's like Facebook and Twitter, they do take information, but there's not much. Let's be honest. But TikTok, it's beyond non-questionable. It should be banned in this country. Will Ireland do it? Not a hope, because they're too busy of offending somebody, of offending the Chinese government. I'm saying we have to take action to protect our citizens, to protect their privacy above all, because China will use that against them. And I'm saying to the government, if you ever took in anything before, and I'm saying to any citizen of Ireland listening to me and who has TikTok installed, and I'm saying to this as somebody who looked into it and seen, and I said I was one of the first people in Ireland to say it, and I keep saying it. Chinese spies are absolutely fiddling around with it, and I'm saying to you, delete the app, delete it, get rid of it, erase it. And if you're thinking about installing, don't. This country shouldn't ever have been let have TikTok. And I'm not saying that it brought so much joy to people, I understand that. But there's so much joy in Facebook and Twitter, and it's a bit more secure. But TikTok, I'm saying this straight, if America, the American spy agencies that are they're pumping money into them spy agencies, they know what they're doing. The Irish government couldn't tell you what they were doing because they wouldn't have a clue. They'd be too busy filling up Andy Kenny full of money. I'm just saying it straight. TikTok should never been let on the Irish soil. Thank you.